Welcome to another episode of Redesigning Your Relationships Live. I'm your host, Giovanna Burgess-White.
And hello, I'm Yvette Valdenegro.
We're so excited to be bringing you this amazing series. We are going to talk about what is the trifecta. It's all about relationships with self, time, and money. But before we get into that, if you're watching us for the first time, welcome. If you're listening for the first time, welcome. We are two amazing relationship coaches, and we absolutely love just creating a healthy relationship with yourself. And this is the way we work with women. And we wanted to break it down into 3 mini episodes so that you can understand what problem we're solving for you.
All right. Well, I just want to say first that I love the fact that we always make up our own stuff. This is a geo word, trifecta. If you listen to us, you know that she said it before. But listen, I think what is going to make this series so wonderful is this is an accumulation of what we've seen, what we know, what we've experienced ourselves, and really what we've seen our clients overcome and grow in. The trifecta meaning that there's 3 things that are grouped together, and we'll get into that in a moment. But the uniqueness is it's not that it's new in the world. I feel like it's new putting them all together as far as how they really are affecting us as women as we are on our growth journey. So I love looking up statistics and information. And so when I was doing all this, there is nothing first of all, there's nothing with the trifecta with what we're going to talk about. So I love that this is going to be new. And secondly, I could not find anything, which I think is insane, bringing relationship, money, and time together. The 3 of them together. You'll find articles on one. There's tons with the relationship between time and money, but no one is really drawing the attention to what it really means in this triangle that we're about to explain. So I love your words that you come up with. And 2, I love that we just get to talk about new things and new ways of thinking about the concerns in our lives and our growth journeys.
This is, and again, our clients have been proof of this. And when we talk about like what it is that we do and how we help our clients, it's through these 3 main things, but it's also how our world works. So this isn't just something that we made up and we're like, oh, we're just going with it. No, this is how the world works. This is how healthy relationships work. And when you master these 3, and they're in kind of a sequential order, but when you master your relationship and you're creating healthy relationships around these mindsets, beliefs, these relationships, then it's a ripple effect of everything else that we help our clients with. And I think what we know that we've always tried to do, like the business and the partner and the kids, and like we're really trying to create these beautiful, healthy relationships with kind of like, when I want to say like the second and third layer, where this is where we have to focus on. This is what we have to really create and master, and not just say that we've done it, like really understand what does that look like? What does it feel like? And am I creating these mindsets and routines around the trifecta? Because once those are done and you are comfortable with them and you have gone against societal beliefs and all the things that you grew up with, then the second and third layer of your relationships will work. And I think that's where we've seen kind of like the reverse roles of working with our clients and starting from the bottom going to the top. We've kind of mastered it and said, okay, this is how we're going to really improve your life, your purpose, your vision, and kind of recreate everything that you've learned. So I'm excited to bring this. Oh, tech did not come through. Here we go. All right, perfect. All right. So here we go. The perfect image of the trifecta.
And look at her. She's sitting there and it's like, she is her and she's got her feet up on time. And it's the 2 things that most people think about all the time, or the stumbling blocks, or the things that come up in their life, money and time. And I love the word trifecta because it's so simple. There's no other meaning. There's no other words that are attached to it. It's just a group of 3. It's triad or trinity. Love the trinity part, but it's just a group of 3. It's that simple. Starting with, as we all say, self, everything. And again, very interesting when you read other articles, when you do the research, they're going to talk about money or they're going to talk about time. And there's one little sentence that says, this all comes from you. Okay. But you is a big thing. Self is a big thing. Starting with what you believe, what you think, your cultural background, the traditions, what you were taught, it all starts from within. So it only makes sense that when we do everything that we do, it starts with self. Our mindset, how we think about money, our mindset, how we think about time, how we think about ourselves, all begins with whatever's going on up here. But those three things are intertwined, beginning with self.
The thing that I love about what we're talking about is every time we meet women and we're in our communities and we're building our relationships and we really like are attracting our clients, the number one, two, and three things that they say is they put themselves last. Like the relationship with themselves is last.
Yeah.
They don't have enough time. Every single person that we know, man and woman, even my teenagers, I'm like, we just never have time. So this is why we're talking about this. It's because we have not created, like, when we were at conference last year, we were like, who here has a healthy relationship with time? Raise your hand. Nobody raised their hand. Like, nobody has a good relationship. Nobody loves it. For those of you guys who know us and you know me, you know that I have a beautiful relationship with time and I think it's great, but it is something that's unheard of. And I think people are going to be like, oh my God, you got to be kidding. So that's why we are bringing this to you. And then obviously money, right? The number one thing, I don't have enough money. I don't have time. I don't have enough money. I don't have money to invest in myself. I don't have I need more time to make money. So it's like, again, this is why we're talking about this trifecta. It's like self, time, and money. It's the last thing that we think about, talk about, or there's no priority there. And we're just in this vicious circle of a copy and paste life of never making enough money, never having enough time, always blaming. This is the blame game right here.
Yeah. And we just did a series on money that was totally different than what we're going to be talking about when we get to, I believe that's part 4 of this series. But unfortunately, what we've also seen, because these 3 are so strong and dominant and everything does begin with self, when we unpack the layers or help people on their personal journey, that this is why these 3 things alone bring negative or just the inability to, whether it's set boundaries, the inability to grow anymore as a person. If someone feels depressed or isolated, if they somehow go back to these things, or if it's starting with self and you're not really feeling good about yourself, then when you do talk about, well, when was the last time you just took some time for yourself? Like you just said, oh, I don't have enough time, because time is money. And if I have to spend all my time working on doing all these other things so that I can have the money, or it's the other way around, right? They're also intertwined, but it's like a tornado effect. Yep. It's like whatever it is hits the ground, and then it just starts swooping up all of the junk that's going on in our lives. And it just gets it's like spiraling out of control. But somehow, some way, that tornado is, we've seen, based on money, time, relating up to self.
Yeah. And for those of you who know us and have seen our worked with us, been to workshops, you've seen the image of the woman in the tornado. It's like no relationship falls into place. And so that's why we were bringing you the series, is so that today is just kind of like an overview and like what's happening. I love like what you've kind of pulled from all of the statistics, but like what it creates in your day to day, the feeling, it's like, I don't want to call it, well, mental illness too, like your mental health, your mental wealth, everything just kind of falls apart. And so it's kind of like being negative Nancy 24/7 because you're playing the blame game here. So we're going to get into some of that right now.
You know what too, Gio? I was just thinking that a lot of times, and this is me, this was literally me a few years ago. The ability to actually move on or move forward or accomplish the things that I really wanted to accomplish, I was gripped, I was almost choking myself, to be honest. It's the feeling of someone's choking you, and it's like yeah, I wish I could improve in this area. I wish this was better. But what is controlling you more is the underlying thought processes of, well, I'll get to me later because I've really got to spend the time doing this, or I don't have the money, or I do have the money. to do X, Y, and Z. And it's, again, it gets all clustered up. And sometimes it's just hard to sift through and gain clarity as far as like what you really truly want, what you truly want to be accomplishing, and really doing those goals.
Yeah.
And understanding that self, time, and money is standing in the way of, or your mindset of those things are standing in the way to your personal growth.
Yeah, a lot of the things. So if you're like listening, you're like, okay, yes, I totally get it. This is me. This is like, you're like Yvette just said, you're stifling your own growth. Like you're not getting to B. You're staying at A the whole time. You are depressed. Anxiety, depression, stress all comes from these three things, because it's the worry and the fear of not having and not doing, not allowing yourself the time to put yourself that you may be like, I want to do that, but it takes the time to do it, right? So it's like you really do have to sit down and like do a reset. Like where are you falling on a day to day?
Mhm.
If you're falling last, nothing else is getting done. And I'm not saying like overnight. This is going to take time. Again, it's going to take time to even start to think that you should come first. But we've seen it with ourselves. We've seen it with our clients. It's the ripple effect of every other relationship in your life, that when you put yourself first and you have those routines and you really do, I mean, it's not being overwhelmed, not being tired, not being rushed every day. Those things will start to take a positive toll versus the negative toll. It's like everything that you don't like in your life it's mainly negative because of these three things. What would it look like and what would it feel like if it was the complete opposite? And that's really what we're going to take you through in these, this 4-part series. But being tired, being angry, being worried, I mean, that's most of the women that we talk to.
Yeah.
That's the feeling of they're waking up and going to bed every day. I don't want anyone to have to feel that way. So when we meet women and we're talking to them, I'm like, what's bringing that up? It's this is the trifecta.
Yeah. And I love what you said, because what we see on the other side is what it brings is the growth. It brings change. Even though it's crazy how we think, oh my God, if I focus on myself and I really spend my money and I really put time into this, really? Yes, really. It really does. And we've seen it. We've seen it in our own lives, and we've seen it with other people. So, and opening the doors to just the new possibilities of what's on the other side. Oh my God, amazing. What's on the other side of something like a triangle? I want to get up the pyramid. I want to, like, the promised land is on the other side. We're the ones stopping ourselves. And I love this little diagram because it's our little woman with her little ponytail, always her heart space. She's glowing and shining, and she is at the top of her own pyramid. But the first two things that are right below her is exactly what we're talking about: time and money. And if you've been to any of our workshops before, or know that there's other little icons that go with this, because there's other things that affect our lives that we're intertwined with, but these are the first two hurdles that we need to get over.
And we're going to take you down this road. In the next 3 weeks, you're going to learn about really what it means to have a healthy relationship with self, time, and then money. And then at the end, you'll see the full pyramid of all the other relationships that are going to fall into place. But if you can't get through the hurdle of the first layer, the second and the third won't come. So we'll have that for you. But I know what you're thinking. Like, I can't wait for the next 3. So things that you can do for yourself now. We have so many ways, tools, and resources on how you can just really help with personal growth and development. So if you are like, this is me, I need to talk to you guys. We do virtual, complimentary virtual connects all the time. So wherever you're watching or listening, hit the link in the bios. We are doing a super fun mini summer series, and we're excited to announce that at the end of this month. And so the dates will be there. You can join us every day. We're going to do 4 days. 1 day of self, 1 day of time, 1 day of money. It's 30 minutes. Like, if you can't take 30 minutes a day of your time to be with us at the end of this month, that's the bigger problem. And then we're going to have an amazing workbook. We're going to have some great exercises that you can do from home. And we're really going to teach you how to create a healthy relationship with these 3. And then obviously workshops. You guys, if you haven't been at one of our workshops, we opened it up. So we're going to start our summer workshops next month, and you can join us there. And those are strictly for business. But again, we have something for everyone, no matter where you are in your journey, what season of life you're in. Self, time, and money is coming up for you, and we are here to help you.
Absolutely. Love it. Yay.
Awesome. So we will see you next week. And yeah, if you want to learn more about money, we just finished our money laundering series. It was amazing. It's a little bit different about what we'll be talking about now, but we had some great insight last month and we had an amazing guest. So go back and listen to our money laundering series. And if you need to get a hold of us, again, links are anywhere that you're watching or listening.